You may well think that your energy field is all here. It's just in the body, inside, and maybe a little bit out here. Let me tell you, your energy field is huge, absolutely huge. It probably would fill up this room, and it goes way out further than you can imagine. Because if you ever wondered when you've been out and about and you'd be walking past someone and they may be over there and you if you're attuned or if you're really sort of like feel the energy, you feel a bit strange. You think, whoa, what happened there? That, my friends, is your energy interacting with another interact energy and kind of like being aware. Now, which is wonderful to just know that your energy source is going way out there. And it has so many different layers of kind of like our emotional senses, physical body, of course, spiritual bodies. There's several different layers. I don't want to spend too much time getting all scientific on that fact. Today's video is more about how we can get affected and what we can do to kind of like sort of like make the most of our energy. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm really going to break this down into three major parts. And we got a nice bit of fun at the end. So stick around to the end because we're going to get you involved. It's not just me talking today. I want to show you something where you really, if you do this, you ought to be able to feel your own energy much more. It comes from a little bit of Qigong, and I often do a bit of Qigong before I start my Reiki to fire up my system. So today, I'm going to show you a very quick routine that I've got from Qigong that you may want to incorporate yourself and fire up your energy for your interact. And even if you're not attuned to Reiki, I can guarantee this will make you aware of your energy. But we'll come to that later, so stick around for that part. But before that, let's do a little bit of introduction. So as I was just explaining, our energy field is huge. But on point number two, we do get affected by things such as anxiety. You know, when we get anxious, I almost see it like chains going around. So our energy wants to expand, doesn't it? And so when we get like anxiety, it's like very restricted. You feel it, we hold it on our shoulders, don't we? Anxiety and stress. I've kind of put them two in a very similar bracket. Anxiety, stress, kind of going like this, and it's just constriction. It's almost like constriction. So you can imagine if when we get like a balloon, when it's full and we can't push in, we start pushing, it doesn't want to go inwards, it wants to expand. So when you're pushing down, the energy almost can become sort of like going out like this. You know, as we push down from the top, for example, balloon may go that way. And of course, if we keep pushing and pushing and pushing, what we really don't want is boom, explosion, and then our energy is completely discombobulated. And of course, that can come from anxiety, stress, and obviously more deep-seated things like trauma. When we see something horrendous happen or we're involved in something horrendous, then yeah, our energy will kind of get pushed way out there and we become discombobulated, for want of a better word. And then we could even be looking into soul retrieval and that kind of sort of like thing that goes on. And we would rather probably want to steer away from that, wouldn't we? Of course, when these things happen, it's where the magic of Reiki can come and hopefully help with that. But yeah, that's one of them. Another one, obviously, is our physical bodies. Now, I'm not here to lecture you about good diet and all that sort of stuff, but when we put food into our bodies and sort of like, we don't do very very much for whatever reason, it our bodies are maybe will kind of like not be at their optimum. Let's put it that way. And so then we kind of like run the risk of picking up certain ailments. But also, I don't want to be a nagging video. It's not about that. It's just more just explanatory. There's a word for it. Explanatory. Explanatory even. And me being a writer, I ought to know that, shouldn't I? But there we are. It's kind of like our bodies can hold sort of like denser energy in our bodies at times. And that can cause issues to our energy field. as we hold on to that density, we become denser energy. And then we just want to push that energy out there a bit more. As I say, and you have to remember as well, our physical bodies, just like everything else, will atrophy as we get older. These are not immortal machines. The soul is. The soul within us is certainly immortal, but this isn't. So at some point we have to face the facts that this will fail. This fella here, Gary Hewitt, one day, you may look at this in videos in years to time. I might not be here anymore, but my visage will carry on and these words will carry on until YouTube's no more. Who knows when that may happen. But the main criteria here is that energy in our physical bodies, again, it starts sort of leaking. And there are other factors as well. It's like sort of like addictions and that kind of thing. Again, I'm not here to nag. I'm just saying they will have an effect on our energy system. So they're things that we're aware of that can impact our sort of like energy system or have a sort of like, I don't want to say negative effect, but they kind of like diminish our efficiency, if you like, put it that way. So point number 3 is really important. Intention and awareness is key. So, for example, now I'm hoping that all of us who are attuned to Reiki we do our self-healing, don't we? We do our Hatsureiho. If you're not sure what any of that is, check out some of my videos and you'll come across those terms, or just ask me, I'll point you in the right direction. But as we kind of like work with that energy, we can kind of pick up where maybe sort of like areas are missing. So I like to see it almost as energy coming into this great big sphere of light, almost like a balloon. So as this energy comes in, this golden light, our energy starts to push out and out with this lovely golden light. Finding those areas, well, maybe we can improve that area. So as we send that golden light into that area, making that energy nice and big. If we're in, how can we feeling chickadee boo, energy will go in quite circle and quite nicely. Have this lovely spiraling energy going into the earth, coming back up again. Like, that's how I see it. Spiral in, spiral out, connected to the heavens, connected to the earth. And we're in pretty good shape, and hopefully most of you are. However, it's like, imagine like a bit like a tire. Let's see, a tire is probably a better analogy, actually. So here you are, you're pumping up your tyre, got a flat, and you can see there's air leaking out. And so you think to yourself, okay, I'll probably have to try and get this fixed if I can. Exactly the same principle with our kind of like our aura. Let's call it an energy bubble. Let's get away from auras because that can be a bit confusing. Let's just call it our big old bubble. And there's a little bit of leakage going on. So what do you want to do about that? Let's seal the leak. So as you're becoming aware, and this is where your intention can really help. If you feel, for example, maybe here in your liver, you think, oh, energy's leaking there. So make your intention, can I direct the Reiki into that area to seal that leak? So we're getting a bit creative here. We're probably veering away from more the traditional ways you would work with Reiki. And I'm always one who likes to experiment a little bit. Experiment, try different things. And I encourage you to find your way as we work that. So just imagine you're sending out this lovely energy right to where it's needed. And just imagine, right, I was putting a nice big elastoplast right on that spot. Boom. There's a nice little bit of healing going right there. And that's not just a physical level, it could be an emotional level, for example. There may be someone's caused you, it might be a person, for example, who's coming around in your awareness. Again, as you fill that energy up, you could just, again, intention, can I please take that person's influence out of my energy, please? Could be work. Again, if you're taking your work home with you, push that energy out of your energy field. And it really does help. You can use your breath as well. So many different ways you can do with that. So these are just 3 items there. I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to go on and on and on. I'll try and make this a bit more snappier today because now we're going to come to the exciting part. But before we come on to that, I just want to say I've got like a little swipe file where I've put on a little PDF just some novel ways of working with your Reiki. I think it's about nine, is it 8 or 9 ideas? If you're interested in that, put comment below, swipe me, and I'll gladly send that over to you. I will then send you a little link. You go there, you enter the details, and then it gives me the information that I need that I can send that information to you. And it's just a little bit of fun little thing to do. Nothing too serious, nothing too complicated, but it gives you the chance to try something a little bit fresh and a bit novel. And some you may have heard of, some you won't have done. But there we are. That's um, for you to explore if you want to. But now I'm sure most of you are thinking, come on, Garen, what are these little techniques then to fire up my energy? Without further ado, let's go. I'm going to take my watch off here because I don't want to damage that. The first thing we're going to do is I call it butterfly hands. And if you go about 3 finger widths up, there's a little point there, and it's both sides of your hand. So we're going to do both sides. But the easiest way is just put your hands like that. Now, depending how crazy you are or sensible you are, it depends how hard you wish to hit. So you might just want to do it soft like this, and the whole purpose of this, we're opening up pressure points. So me, I go quite firm, but find your own comfort. Because I don't want you putting in the comments, ouch, you've hurt my wrist, Gary, and we're not about that. Find a little nice rhythm. So just open up those energy gates. So we're just going to do that for a little while. And then swap, so swap over, and we just literally just transition one to the other. And wake up those butterfly wings. And you'll see how this all works at the end. So that is there. And you may feel a bit of tingling going on in your hands. Possibly not. That's fine. Okay, the next one, we're going to put our hands like this. You're going to get your little thumb there. And again, start gently and just tap into that fleshy part of the hand there. Again, it may be tender, maybe sore. So again, listen to your body, see what you're ready to do. And yes, I know this looks very strange, like some kind of initiation sequence. Really, trust me, it's not. This is just a simple way of firing up your energy. Really, if you want to get some extra energy before you start your Reiki session, this is going to help. But today, it's just about feeding your energy. So do that for a little while, and trust me, these work. Again, we're going to come in right there, and again, these are pressure points. So just tap away into that space. Do that for a little while. Just tap away. And I often do this in a little Reiki Zoom chat that I do, and we all love it. We all just feel the energy when we do this, so this really does work. Finally, now this apparently is quite rude in some countries, so I understand, but you're going to get your hands like this, and you're going to bash them together, these parts here. And again, it's stimulating more energy points. So if you wonder how I got this, it's from a guy called Holden Qigong. I really recommend you check into that. If you're into your Reiki, it's all online. I mean, I think he does about 3 or 4 lessons a week, and it's really reasonable. I think it works out about £3 a lesson or something like that. If you do, it depends how often you do it, and you can do it as much as you like. So I definitely recommend it. Right, and so what we're going to do now, we're going to close our eyes and just now feel the energy in your hands for a second. And I'm hoping you're getting a lot of tingling going on. I certainly am. And now what I'd like you to do is just put your hands one above the other. There are other ways we can really charge it up, but I am aware that we don't want to spend too much time on of your valuable time. So let's do that. Now just imagine that you're just stirring the ball. And now I'm hoping that you'll become aware, almost like this magnetic force. Push and pull that energy. And keep stirring it. Make that ball bigger. And pulse it. Really pulse that energy. And you should feel some magnetism. I'm a bit wary of doing this because I don't want to blow my phone up. So I'm not deliberately not directing my energy at the phone because this has been known to happen. I've done this before. I've frazzled electricity, and you can do that too. I do not recommend it. But now you've got this lovely energy coming in. This is where we can start pulsing out. So just imagine that you're pulsing that energy into your whole energetic field. Important, I like to think of this beautiful golden light. Keep the light golden and just send it right out into your energy field until your hands are really out wide on each side. As you can still keep pushing your energy out. And this is where we can really have fun with our intention and our awareness. Push your energy out into the whole room with your breath. Each time we breathe, just pulse it out further and further. Relax your arms. Don't go like that. Relax and just let them just soften. Pushing, pushing to the whole of your house. Why not? We can send our energy out there. Of course we can. We're just sending this beautiful golden light. And when you think about distant healing, we're kind of doing something very similar here. We're working with that foreign up our energy, and then almost it's almost like a phone call, isn't it? We connect with the person we're sending to. And then we could just keep sending that as far as you like. You want to send it out to the whole universe, be my guest. We're just going to do that. And what I like to just finish, just gather your hands, place that beautiful energy on your heart, take 3 deep breaths, and one more, and just say thank you. And there we are, everyone. So I do hope that's proved useful for you. It's something a little bit different from what's on my other videos, because I like to think always, how can I get you involved? Rather than me just waffling on, because sometimes I know it's nice to watch that, but can't beat a little bit of interaction. And if you got to the end, say, I am energized. I know you've watched the whole video. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Much love to you all. I'll catch you at the next one.